All right, thank you for being patient. So I also want to say before we get started that 11 of you completed your math quiz on Friday. Okay, 4 of you went back and you did it yesterday, which was great, but we have 18 kids in our class. So if we have 18 kids in our class and only 11 completed it, how many still need to do it? So let's use our counting on strategy to solve that problem. Okay, so let's all put 11 in our heads and let's count up to 18. All right, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Because we have 18 kids in our class. So how many still need to take that test or that quiz? 7. Good. We counted on. And that's the strategy we're using this week is our counting on strategy. I enjoyed looking at all of your lessons that you completed on your Nearpod. Some of you are still forgetting to click that blue submit button. So when you move to the next slide to do the next question and you don't hit that blue button, I don't see your work at all. So it's an empty page. There's nothing on it. Okay, so make sure if you're using the draw tool to write in your numbers or to draw your picture, then you have to click that blue submit button before clicking the blue arrow to go to the next slide. All right, so in order for me to see your work, you need to make sure you're clicking that button. All right, let's make sure we're all sitting up nice and tall, just like we would on the carpet. Good. All right, I don't want anybody laying down. We only get a few minutes on here together, so I want to make sure that we're focusing and paying attention. All right, Clara, what is your question? Go ahead.
I don't know what we're doing.
You don't know what?
I don't know what we're supposed to be doing.
Right now, you're just listening because we're going to go over some math problems. So a lot of you completed your lesson for today. We're going to do a couple new problems together, and we're going to talk about how to use our math words to describe our strategies. Good morning, Nyla. I'm so glad you could join us. All right, so let's look at our first question. Or our first picture, I'm sorry, I didn't finish that question. We have 6 plus 2. All right, Taylor, remember to keep yourself muted. Thank you, awesome. All right, so our question, we have 6 plus 2. I drew 6 dots right here. Okay, then we were counting on. So what 2 numbers will I put in our blanks? If you did your math lesson, hopefully you can answer this. If we put 6 in our head, what numbers would we say next? Go ahead and raise your hand if you can answer the question. We have 6. If I drew 2 more, what would I say? 7, 8. All right, let's see. Who can answer? Awesome. Carter, you want to say those numbers? What 2 numbers? Go ahead. What comes after 6?
7, 8.
Awesome. 6 in our head, or just like we have here, we have 6 dots. We're counting on 7, 8. Okay, it's a lot easier to count on than to count all 6 dots again and then 7, 8. So that's a strategy we use. Okay, awesome. Now let's look at our next one. We have 7 plus 3. Who can tell me what I need to do next? We've got to draw our picture to solve. So what am I going to put in this big box right here? All right, Clara, go ahead and share.
Dot.
Good. How many dots?
7.
7. Good. We're going to put 7 right here. You can count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Fantastic. Now that we know we have 7, we need to add on 3 more. So what would we say? What would our numbers be? Move it down just a little for you. 7. Let's count on. Who can tell me what numbers come after 7? That here? Go ahead.
8.
Good. 8. Then what comes next?
9.
9.
10.
10. Good job. If we drew 3 more circles, then we could count them. We have 7, 8, 9, 10. So we know 7 plus 3 equals our 10. Now, I want you to solve questions, and then I'm just going to pick a few that would like to share it with the class. So you will need your whiteboard and your marker. If you don't have it and you have just a piece of paper and a pencil, that is okay. You can use that. We're going to use our counting on strategy. Looks like I need a few more problems because we have lots of you. So I'm going to just go across and tell you what your question is. So write it down and then you will solve it. Okay? And then once we finish solving, I'm going to have a few of you share with the class. So our first question is going to Allison. So Allison, you write this down. 4 plus 4. Amonte, your question. 6 plus 4. Remember, when you solve it, I want you to show me your work. You can do your counting on strategy. Okay, and then we'll share with the class in a second. Let's see. Next, we have Clara. Your question is 8 plus 5. All right. Carter, your question is 7 plus 4. Write it down. All right. Dylan, yours is 5 plus 5. Write it down. Jason, yours is 3 plus 2. Write it down. Caden, yours is 9 plus 2. All right, Kelton, yours is 8 plus 4. All right, Leo, yours is 3 plus 4. Okay, write it down. Some of us in the beginning should be already almost done showing your work. Taylor, yours is 6 plus 3. Nyela, yours is 4 plus 1. Write it down. And then Vedhir, yours is 6 plus 5. You got it written down? And that way you can show me your work, just like we did our counting on strategy. So I'm going to give, I know some people, that was a lot of us. I'm so excited so many of us are on here today. 4, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12. Awesome. All right. Leo's on. Amonte's on. All right. Who is ready to share? If you're still working, that's okay. If you're ready to share with the class, remember to use your words to describe. I don't want just your answer. I want you to tell me how you got that answer and then show your picture on the screen because you worked it out on your paper. All right, let's start with Allison. Go ahead.
I did it with these lines and I count them.
Awesome. So you drew 8 lines. So what did you start with?
1.
You started with 1. Well, how many did you just wrote 8? Or what number did you get to?
I'm gonna help where she can see it. There.
Yeah, so you drew 4 lines and then you drew 4 more. I love how you labeled your lines to double check that you drew the right amount. All right, thank you for sharing, Allison. Let's see, anybody else have theirs done? Clara, go ahead.
I used my marker and my number.
Show us your paper. Show the class. You used the number line? Awesome. Put it up really close to the camera so we can see. Okay, now go ahead and tell us what you did.
I used my marker and my number line and I counted on from 8, 5 more.
Awesome. And what did you get?
13.
Great. She used her number line. Great job, Clara. Thank you for sharing. She started with 8 and counted on 5 more. Good job. All right. We have time for one more. Let's see. Who would like to share? Kaden, go ahead.
I used this. I was counting on this thing to do it.
Great. What did you write? I love how you wrote some numbers, just like our counting on we did here. Can you tell us what numbers you used?
I used 9, 10, and 11 to count it, and then I did the answer, which was 11.
Great. So he wrote 9, the number 9. I guess I could have been doing these with you. And then he counted on, next time I'll write them up on the board to kind of go over. He said 9 in his head, counted on 10, 11, 2 more. Great. We're getting into some bigger numbers, so that's why it's important that we learn these strategies now. Counting on, if we drew 9 circles, that would take a while. But Kaden put that big number in his head and he counted on and only had to draw 2 more. All right. Thank you so much for sharing. We are out of time. I know a lot more of you wanted to share, and next time, tomorrow, maybe you can. Okay, we'll try to fit a few more in tomorrow.